demeanour and tactics.
So you coach international sport.
Exactly right. You are the coach of an Australian sporting team.
The under-7s T-ball coach will cop flack for his selection and for his tactics. Like, it doesn't... You are a coach. You are going to cop flack. And because you happen to be at the top of the order, you're going to cop a lot more flack.
You could win every single game, go through, win the World Cup, and there will still be people in the Australian media that will criticise you about something that you've done or not done that you should have done.
Fox Sport have got a team of analysts and media personalities are paid to be the nasty person.
What did he think he signed up for?
It's a very bizarre... He could have put this out in one foul swoop. No, it's incorrect. I will be coaching past as far as we go in the World Cup, and then we'll go. But for him to come out and say yes or no, we're making no comment on this decision, on this media report, how long is this going to go on for now? This is going to be a circus.
As far as I'm concerned,
a huge circus.
As far as I'm concerned, if this is the case, pack your bag, Ange. You can go now. Yeah. You can nick off now. We don't need you for Honduras. If we're going to have another coach during the World Cup, we're going to have another coach for the Honduras game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what the Socceroos...
Soccer Australia.
Yeah, Soccer Australia is actually considering at the moment. They'd be looking at it going, well, if he's not going to be there, if he's not going to be there regardless, we may as well just get rid of him.
Yeah.
We want a coach that's going to get us to the World Cup and deep into it, not get us to the World Cup and then we're going to go...
a new coach. He's
going to go find someone else. Yeah, you're going to go find someone else. No, Graham Arnold, a few of these other guys would probably gladly put their hand up, but it's just
throwing them in the deep end, aren't you?
Very bizarre timing.
Yeah,
very, very bizarre timing.
I don't get it. I mean, you as far as coaching goes, that is in Australia anyway. That's the pinnacle. You are coaching the national side. There's no stepladder that takes you up to a higher Australian side. You are at the top.
Well, he doesn't coach at a club level anywhere else. So
yeah, where do you go?
This is his sole focus. Yeah. So if he wants to go and coach an EPL team or someone else like that, guess what? All of those seats are already taken.
Yeah, and not only that,
all those seats are already gone.
They're probably not going to be happy with the attitude at the moment either. And let's be honest, those EPL sides, they could be the same as Turkey. Some of those teams go.
If he doesn't like criticism, you don't want to play. Yeah. He doesn't want to manage in the EPL. That's for sure.
Well, like I said, it doesn't matter. You could be coaching the under-7s T-ball side. You're still going to cop criticism and selection dramas because you're going to cop flack from everyone. That is the role of coaching.
Well, it's anything. They were saying, this is a problem I've got as well, is that they've not come out about it. But yeah, the media reports have been that he's unhappy with people within Media Australia, Soccer Australia, and the media who seem to be undermining his thing. And it's like,
did they tell him he wasn't allowed to bench Moy? They haven't done anything to undermine it. They just said that they don't think it's the right decision.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. Exactly right. It wasn't.
But that's the thing is you make a bold selection, you have to stand by it, and you have to accept the criticism that comes with it. And that's every single sport in the history of the game, from every level, from juniors right through to international. That is what being a coach is about.
Well, you can't be a media personality paid on a radio station or on a TV, sit there and then just say, "Oh, Ange is awesome." Well, that's not the way it rolls.
That's it. We don't get paid, and we're happy to sledge him. So.
Yeah,
if he doesn't like copping criticism, he will not want to download the podcast when it finally comes out.
No, that's it. Ange, you're welcome to come in as well and do a bit of explaining. Yeah, write a reply. Yeah, I can't say that.
I'll just check with Caitlin first to see who's coming in first, but we'll see if you can come in after that, mate. But that's garbage.
Yep. And Ollie's chimed in as we knew he would, and he's complete agreement that being a coach. Sorry, I actually read it out. Being a coach is full of criticism, as in life, you can't please everyone. So, very insightful words there, Ollie.
Ollie does know he's coaching males netball team. So, yeah.
Yeah. And so on to the rugby. And, Donnie, you've got a bit of another selection decision that you're not too happy with at the moment as far as the Women's League goes.
No, it's about the International Rugby League. So we've got the World Cup that's coming up shortly.
Yeah.
In rugby league, and I kind of get the impression that rugby league's trying to be an international sport when it's really not. The international eligibility criteria is making a bit of a mockery of the game. We've actually had probably the best thing that's happened to international rugby league in 10 years, and it's been reported negatively. So we've had Jason Taumalolo, who's won the Dally M, not this year, the year before. We're sort of right up there again this year. And also Andrew Fafita, both of those two players. So Taumalolo would have been picked for New Zealand. Andrew Fafita was picked for Australia. And rather than play for these countries, they've decided instead that they'd prefer to play for Tonga, which is a bit of a fledgling nation, one of the minnow nations, I suppose, in rugby league. And that's given them a real boost, a real shot in the arm. But it seems to be reported by the media as being a real negative thing, that they've turned their back on New Zealand, or they've turned their back on Australia. But the fact of the matter is that I'm not sure what they get paid in New Zealand, but in Australia, to play for Australia, you get paid $30,000 every game. $30,000 for 80 minutes worth of work playing for Australia. So for Andrew Fafita to turn around and say, that there's potentially six games in this tournament, so that's $180,000 potentially if they make the final, that he's turning his back on and saying, no, instead I'm going to go over here and play for Tonga, where they pay me a pie and a drink every game. He gets nothing for going and playing for Tonga. He's turned his back on Australia to go and help them out, go and play for them instead of playing for Australia, and he's copping criticism for it. And I don't understand why he's getting criticised.
Yeah, no, it's Jesus, 30 grand. Sorry, I'm retiring from cricket. I'm going to start playing rugby league now. So, right, we'll be back in a moment, and we're going to start wrapping up the show.
This is In the Sheds with Albie, Brucey and Donnie. Check us out on Facebook or Twitter @TheSheds885.
That's right, you're in the Sheds. We're going to start wrapping up the show now, and as we went over at a bit earlier, just keep in mind this weekend, great weather, get down to the Ellenbrook DOS to watch the Rangers take on Swan View in day 2, and the one-day side will be taking on Forestfield, or head down to Swan Valley Oval Cricket for the Swan Valley Cricket. Watch them take on. I've already forgotten who we're playing. There we go, Applecross. There we go. Get down to watch them play Applecross, or the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs, probably their last home game for the season at Charlotte's Vineyard Sporting Complex there, and the girls have already had a smashing start to the season, destroying the opposition. Let's hope they can keep it up next week. So the Wildcats, we've got the grand final rematch this weekend.
Yeah, taking on the Illawarra Hawks in the grand final rematch again at home. So it's a bit of a dream way to start the season, I think. Yeah, taking on Illawarra. Illawarra actually lost their first round match to the Taipans. They went down by 1 point. Not the best of start for them, so they're looking to bounce back.
And who have you guys got for this one?
Wildcats at home, mate.
Yeah, they're always going to be hard to beat at home. I think the Wildcats will get the job done.
Yeah, I agree. And then the Cricket Australia,
that's the combined affiliated states.
Yeah.
So the rugby league team, so basically combining WA, NT, South Australia and the Northern Territory. They're combining, they're actually taking on England, but they've got a warm-up game coming up this week on Monday night, taking on WA Samoa and WA PNG down in Rockingham. Just to run through some of the West Australian players, so Ben Taylor from the North Beach Sea Eagles, Jordan Jacob from the South Perth Lions. They've got Ben Bolt and Andrew Jeffrey, both from the Rockingham Sharks. Brad Gibson from the Fremantle Roosters, Logan Houghton from the Joondalup Giants, and Gillespie Fye, also from the Joondalup Giants, representing WA as part of that team, and they'll get the opportunity to take on the guys like Sam Burgess and some of the biggest names in the game Friday week, so that should be a big thrill for them. They got a warm-up game down in Rockingham this week.
Fantastic. And the Warriors got the next one day against the Redbacks. Who have you guys got for that?
Well, you'd be mad to go against the Warriors.
They are on a good one at the moment.
Yeah, this it did look like it was going to be first versus second, but then the Redbacks went and lost to Tasmania. So it's hard to read. Hard to read what they're doing. They look like they were going to be in.
Well,
in second
Tassie didn't
spot.
look like they were going to win a game at all.
No, that's the first win for Tassie in the tournament. Their two losses are against the Cricket Australia 11 and Tasmania. They're the two teams that everyone thinks are going to finish down near the bottom.
Near the Spuds.
But they're beating the good teams. So they're hard to read, the Redbacks. You've got to go with WA to win.
Got to go with WA. Now, just a quick mention as well. I did forget to bring this up at the start of the show, but a big shout out to the Ellenbrook United under-14s. So they finished up the top of their champion of their group. They went down to play the Southwest Phoenix for the Bunbury Cup and beat them 2-0. So not only did they win their comp, but they've also gone down and beaten the Southwest Phoenix in their comp as well. So fantastic.
They travelled down there, did they?
Travelled down and got the win, 2 goals to nothing. So that's a wonderful effort by the boys. It's great to fit. That's the end of their season now, but they've obviously the the futsal comp will be kicking off, and we're hoping to have Lee Evans come on the show next week and have a talk to us about the futsal and about the Rovers as well. But wonderful effort by the 14s guys to go down. It's someone else's home ground that you've probably never played on. Come away with the win 2-0 shows that you guys are a little team of champions. And mum and dads, I know the Rovers didn't listen to us, but go out and buy these kids some pizza. They've earned it. So
88.5 zone.
That's it. Yep. We've been getting around United a bit. So. Thanks again for a good show, guys. Thanks to David Worthington for coming in and having a chat to us about the... I should say Digger, actually, because people probably... His mates sitting there going, who the hell was David? Thanks, Digger, coming in and having a chat to us about the cricket. Make sure you get down to the Swan Valley if you want to get some training done. Also, remember that the Rangers are playing this weekend against our enemies, mortal enemies, Swan View. So... Swan View boys, make sure you get in touch with us and have a chat.
You're selling that.
I know, that's it. Well, I asked for a rivalry and they've given us one, so I definitely can't...
We've given them even...
Honestly, I can't complain, really, because we said we wanted a really good rivalry, and I'll tell you what, I don't think we realised how good of a rivalry it was between the Rangers and Swan View, and I'm pretty happy with how it's going at the moment, so hopefully we can keep that going.
You didn't light the fire, you just put petrol on it.
Yeah, exactly. There was already a fire there, you know. Do you blame the guy that lit the match or the one that chucked fuel on it? So, all good. But thanks very much for tuning in, guys. We'll be back next week and we'll hopefully have Lee Evans from the futsal comp. We've got some exciting stuff coming up over the next few weeks as well, so make sure you tune in. We'll hopefully have the podcast up this week as well. Thanks very much for listening.
On VCA 885 FM, where the Valley comes alive, you've been listening to In the Sheds with Albie, Brucey and Donny. Check us out on Facebook or Twitter @TheSheds885. See you 6:30 next Wednesday.